สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Morning Thailand 24th of September 2013 I am Tulip Naksampom
And I want to song Kura Hong.
and today we will go
Start with the temple,
Okay.
a famous temple. Now, I think everybody knows by now because it becomes one of Thailand landmark, I would say. It's a temple of Dawn, or Wat Arun, we call it, and it's situated right by the Chao Phraya River. Of course, at this point, there has been a report that as of today, it will be closed the stupa for the visit due to the fact that they will renovate it.
Okay.
Yes, there's going to be closed for the renovation, but don't forget that, they hasn't renovated this particular stupa for quite a while already. So if you would like to visit, I'm pretty sure that you can take pictures and such, but to actually go inside and walk around,
Normally
that
they
might...
allow people to climb up.
Yeah, so that would no longer be possible for you to, obviously, as you can see there, a lot of construction was ongoing. Now, in this particular case, like I said, there has been a report that this particular stupa would have to be renovated. As you can see, due to the fact that it has been, quite old already. So at this point, they think that it's probably about the right time to undergo the repairs as well as renovation along with the other structure in the temple compound. And this is according to the deputy abbot of the temple of Dawn. Now they say that this will be a biggest repair and renovation work on the stupa in the last 14 years. Because in the past, even while the large scale work was being done, the stupa used to remain open for the tourists. But at this point, they decided to actually close it down for quite a bit. So in this case, we're probably going to have to wait for a while before they actually finish this. Now they say that they will divide the work into 3 phases. For this year, it will cover about southwest and northwest of the Praprang or stupa, and also the smaller stupa as well on the side, on the south as well as on the west. Now for next year and the year 2015, the work will cover the southeast and the northeast of the Praprang stupa, which is the main stupa, and the smaller stupa on the east as well as on the north. Now, signs obviously will be erected along the side to warn the tourists of possible accidents during the closures. You will still be allowed to see the stupa itself from the distance during this 3-year period. So it will be closed down for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, because obviously, I prefer that they takes time to renovate this place, than taking it too earlier. Now, they say that stupa will be closed at auspicious time of 3 p.m. today.
Okay.
After a blessing, opening ceremony. So I would suggest that if you would like to visit the place, go before that or right at 3 p.m. So at least you will get to see various ceremony being done. So, that's culture and traditional ceremonies and such would actually be seen as well. So for 3 years, you will not be able to walk up close, but it doesn't mean that you can not take pictures from afar.
So you still have another 15 hours to go check it out. And this is all under advisory of the fire department.
Yeah, so that will be 6, 7, 8, 9 hours.
Oh, only 9 hours.
Yeah, 3 p.m. So
9 hours.
There you go.
Okay, you still have time. I went up there once. The staircase was pretty steep, and the view from up there was pretty nice.
Yes.
But yes, 3 years. Today is the last chance. So move on to the next news. We report to you about the good news we had on Sunday that Thailand had won the championship of the international volleyball.
Women's volleyball.
Senior women's volleyball, organized by Thailand was the host, and it's under the FIVB. And of course, all these teams that represent their country is starting to fly back. One of them, which ranked the 3rd in this competition, is Korean. Reportedly, Korean in such a hurry flying back yesterday, they forget many belongings at the airport. Among many of those things are their trophies.
Right, they forgot the trophy, huh?
They forgot the trophy, and a lot of people said, is it because they were just frustrated and they didn't get the first place? But the airport staff and also the Thai Volleyball Federation staff said that it's just among many other things, the logging of their training session, a lot of documents, a lot of personal belongings. So
it's probably not just the trophy.
yes,
obviously.
not because of their were upset, because they have to leave Nakhon Ratchasima super early on Monday morning just to make sure they get to Suvarnabhumi in time to fly out at 7:30.
Right.
So that probably like 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning, super early. Beside that it's become quite a bit of topic to talk about in social media.
It's interesting because I think that probably a lot of people would just kind of a little bit concerned whether or not they got upset with the third place. But obviously if they forgot other belongings, that means that, it wasn't intentionally just for this. So, don't be too alarmed and, quickly judge. They just simply, sometimes when you travel, it happens.
Yes, and it's super early in the morning.
Exactly.
Okay, and after this competition that we know that Thailand volleyball team ranks will be moving up. So the the International Federation of Volleyball just announced that the Thailand will move up from rank 16th to number 12. Brazil's still number 1, but Thailand moving up 4 ranks, which is pretty nice. We beat up the third of the world.
Right, of course.
And we also we beat up the third of the world.
And, after this particular victory, I think a lot of other countries will actually view us as a little bit more of a big competitor
Very
to
fierce
look out for.
Competitor. Yes.
Exactly. All right, moving on to, and probably if you're at the Suvarnabhumi airport yesterday, you'll find it quite frustrating due to the fact that there's a lot of flight delays, flight swaps going. Usagi has just done its part. Obviously, this particular tropical storm has actually hit Hong Kong pretty badly, so that caused a lot of flights canceling. So flight cancellation, that means that this is since on Sunday and moving on to Monday, and of course it's created quite effect yesterday due to the fact that whoever got their flight cancels on Sunday would have to actually move to other alliances airlines, meaning that if you cannot go with Cathay Pacific, you probably be put on the other flight. So the people that were supposed to be on the flight on the 23rd yesterday, or people who actually one of those that waiting for the tickets to fly but last minute kind of thing, would not get a chance to. My mom actually was one of those that stood in line waiting for the ticket, and she ended up could not go to Singapore yesterday because a lot of people have to reroute.
Right.
Yeah, to go via Singapore instead, due to the fact that the airport, Hong Kong airport, decided to close down the airport because obviously if you visit Hong Kong before, you will realize that how small their airports actually is, and is quite windy. So when you added that with Usagi, at this point, it seems like it's created quite a bit of a problem. However, at this point, TG or the Thai Airways has already reissued more flights for today. Okay. So it seems like it's become a little bit easier because they just closed it down on Sunday and on Monday. But at this point, they will actually just open up again. Just yesterday, they say that the Hong Kong airport opened for the business again yesterday, just later. But on Sunday, obviously, there's a lot of flights delay. Now they say that at this point, Thai Airways announced, as well as AirAsia, because AirAsia goes there as well, say that there has already announced the more flights for all the people. So meaning that if you have to go to either Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, or China at this point, please check your flights, whether or not it has been moved or whether or not it has been delayed or canceled and such, because at this point they have to swap quite a bit of the flights to make sure that they will be able to release all the passengers, because don't forget, some of them actually transfer to the other country, and Hong Kong is one of the biggest transporting point too.
True.
So at this point, check your flights before you go, because you don't want to get to the airport and ended up being there for like 6 hours.
Would be fun.
No.
And to get there and not able to come back would be even worse.
Exactly.
Move on to the next news. It's, I think we heard enough when the students from different schools don't like each other schools, not even their own personal face.
Right.
It's more like what uniform the other person wear, and if it is school that they don't like or they feel like it's
A rival.
school,
Right.
they would just go do something.
A lot of
shoot,
assault.
or it's a lot of assault. So yesterday, this is actually scary.
Right.
Yesterday, late afternoon, the police got a call and to the scene in Chong Non Si sub-district, Yanawa district on Ramatri Road that there was a student brawl. So when the police got there, they found a blood pool along with the left hand that got cut off. And only a meter away from that hand, there was a big knife that have some kind of flesh sticking to it. Is this a little bit too more in detail? Anyway, so we find out later that the person that got their hand cut off has been sent to Charan Krung Pracharak Hospital, and he is actually a 17-year-old student from a polytechnic or technology school, of one of the vocational school in Bangkok, and just the first year of vocational school. And he was on the way home. He and his friends, 5 of them on motorcycles on the way home, and suddenly when they arrive around the area which is just in front of Nonsi Vitaya school, a group of students from, they believe to be rival school, just jump out from the hiding and kind of start the attack.
Right.
And they're able to chop the left hand off of this 17 years old. So, and even though this kid has been sent to the hospital and his friends hanging out around the hospital to check out on him, there were still like about 6 students from the viral school they believe to be in Thonburi area.
They don't give up, do they?
Follow to the hospital.
That's horrible.
And try to pick a fight. I mean, maybe it's time that, not maybe, I think we should make sure that they are occupied with something else at school.
Obviously, they don't show any remorse. I don't think even about occupation. The thing is, I think that these kids are just somehow has been embedded with the ideas that they have to hate the other college just to show that they're better. But that's not the case. I believe that if you have a competition of the projects that you've done in class, that would be actually even more interesting.
Proud,
exactly.
Yes. And I believe a lot of them, after they finish their school, this just be all behind them. And it'll be just another story to tell when they get older.
Exactly.
And there was actually a report that the doctor was trying to reconnect the hand, but there is no conclusion whether it's successful or not.
Okay, well, that doesn't help, does it, at this point? See, sometimes it just doesn't worth it at all. All right, we're going to take a short break, but after we come back, we have alarming issues of the water levels that seems to increase everywhere, as well as alarming issue with the fact that a lot of our children, young generation, are not able to read and write. So please stay tuned.